We start with a developing story from the city of Miami. That's where police have announced the arrest of a 25-year-old real estate agent accused of several attacks on the homeless, at least one of them deadly.
Okay, by now, most of you have already heard about this story. Your high-value man you think Captain Sam's going to do a story on this? Think the lead attorney going to do a story on this? Your high-value brother going around knocking off homeless people at night, bumping them off left and right. Now you're going to hear about how this doesn't make any sense. It must be a conspiracy. They setting the brother up. They framing him. They trying to take a good brother down. He was about to buy NBC. You ain't all that. Okay? You're going to hear all of that on these Twitter, YouTube, Facebook streets. Something ain't right. This sound fishy. No. This guy, a real estate agent, a high-value man, in the prime of his life, handsome, could be living in Miami, down there with Fresh and Fit, right? All they gotta do is listen to the game they spitting, and he gonna have all the girls, right? This guy could be living his best life, and he was. But in his spare time, at night, when he's supposed to be at the bar, cleaning up, screwing out of both pants legs, he's running around the streets, sending homeless people to the pearly gates. If this was a movie, it'd be hard to believe this is a script. That's why truth is stranger than fiction. It would be hard to believe this was real. I ain't gonna lie. If this was a Tyler Perry movie, I would be like, man, Tyler, man, you need to start letting other people write your scripts.
We start with a developing story from the city of Miami. That's where police have announced the arrest of a 25-year-old real estate agent accused of several attacks on the homeless, at least one of them deadly. CBS 4's Joel Waldman joins us now from the Miami Police Department with everything we know so far. Joel?
Lauren, we've learned a lot throughout the day. Police say that 25-year-old man is likely responsible for 2 murders, 1 attempted murder, and possibly other heinous crimes. Dapper and decked out in slick-looking suits and sitting atop speedy sports cars, these are typical Facebook pictures of a young man in the prime of his life. But Miami police and Mayor Francis Suarez say this 25-year-old took lives, calling Willie Suarez Maceo a cold, calculated serial killer.
And I don't care about all that Willie Suarez Maceo stuff. All I care about is the Willie. This is Willie. This is a brother. This is a brother, Willie. That back in when I was coming up, that was a common name for brother. Willie. Lester. Earl. Those was common names. This is Willie. This is a brother, Jack. I don't hear nothing about, oh, well, he's a no. This be's a sun man, Jack. Sun man do sun man things, man. Okay? This be's a sun man.
On the eve of Christmas, we have a very dangerous person off of the streets now.
We had a witness that flagged down one of our police officers that was on patrol in the area 400 Southwest 2nd Avenue.
That's where interim Miami Police Chief Manny Morales says a homeless man was discovered shot in the head but alive Tuesday around 8 p.m. Less than 2 hours later, another homeless man was shot and killed in Wynwood.
Officers quickly connected the two incidents, not only because of the short span of time between the two shootings, but because both incidents involved victims that were homeless.
The interim chief says detectives quickly pieced together physical evidence found at both scenes, which was matched by ballistic experts, along with surveillance video, eventually finding their person of interest, who we now know is 25-year-old Suarez Maceo. But sadly, the story does not end there.
One of the lead investigators noticed a resemblance that the suspect of this incident had to a crime that took place back in October 16.
Back on October 16th, another homeless man was murdered, this time brutally stabbed to death. Police believing Suarez Maceo is the cold-blooded killer in that case, too.
And don't think the irony is lost on me that a real estate agent, someone who sells homes, is going around and killing people who are without homes. I mean, think about it, man. If this is what's happening, we had the anesthesiologist commit a double murder. What was that? 2 weeks ago. Now we got a real estate agent going around bumping off homeless people at night. It's sun-wide. It's sun man wide. There's no group, or there's no like, well, you know, Pookie and Ray Ray. It's all of us. And I put myself in that category too. Because I'm crazy too. I'm crazy too, man.
Back on October 16th, another homeless man was murdered, this time brutally stabbed to death. Police believing Suarez Maceo is the cold-blooded killer in that case, too. The chief grateful for his detectives' relentless work.
At the Miami Police Department diligently worked this case for almost 48 straight hours. The investigators took no rest. They knew they were close. They felt the pain. They felt the injustice that the victims had suffered at the hands of this cruel individual.
A cruel individual looking more like a chameleon in these smooth-looking Facebook photos, reminding us all we never really know who someone is just by the way they appear.
A lot of sisters should be, and they're not. The sisters are probably like, you're just a sister, and they shutting him up. You know, sisters. But it's a few sisters out here that's smart enough to be relieved. Because this guy, could you imagine what he could have done to the sister population? This guy, handsome, is well-dressed, tall, fresh cut. He could have would have had no problem bumping off as many sisters until he got caught. I mean, he could have just gone on and on and on and on and on until he got caught. Because he eventually going to get caught. But y'all sisters need to be lucky he was preying on homeless people. Just be lucky. Just take a sigh of relief that his prey of instead of, because he was doing this at nighttime. This brother could have been in the clubs in Miami or on the town, mingling and single with his sports car and his suits. And he probably got a wicked game. His verbiage is probably off the charts if he's a real estate agent. And just meeting sisters and bumping them off. Instead, which is strange to me, not because he wasn't bumping on sisters, but it's nighttime and you're this guy. And you're not at the clubs, you're not. That would have been a red flag for me if I had known this brother. Be like, you not going out on the town, bro? You single. You 25. Or you going to just take a walk? You going to dress up in a hoodie, a black hoodie and black sweatpants and a ski mask and go take a walk down by the homeless encampment? I would have been like, I don't know, something ain't right about this brother. That would have been a definite red flag.
A cruel individual looking more like a chameleon in these smooth-looking Facebook photos, reminding us all we never really know who someone is just by the way they appear.
Police officers are trained to go after the actions, not the person, not the way they look, but the way that they behave and the actions they take.
The fact that this particular person preyed on the most vulnerable in our community is particularly upsetting.
Upsetting indeed. Police say they have no known motive, but they also say they need the public's help in trying to get a little bit more information about what happened the night of October 16th. Anyone with information is asked to call the Miami Police Department. Reporting live downtown, Joel Waldman, CBS 4 News.